Hey, this is Chad Ferguson, learntocatchcatfish.com, and I'm going to show you here how to thicken cheese-based catfish baits. In the hot weather, especially in the summertime, when it gets really hot, I hear a lot of complaints with people fishing with catfish punch baits or any kind of cheese-based catfish baits that they're not thick enough and that they're too runny. And I have an article on my website called Catfish Punch Bait 101. The absolute first thing I would do if I was fishing with catfish punch bait is go read that article and read my tips and tricks on there about how to manage fishing with catfish punch bait, especially in the warmer weather. And the first thing you want to do before you start messing with adding anything to the bait is make sure that you get it cooled off, because usually when you get it cooled off real good, it'll start to thicken up. I read an article as well about this, and I just have this punch bait here in a little small flip top cooler. If you keep it nice and cool and take it to the lake like that, it will really help with keeping the right consistency for a long period of time. When you need to bait up, you just open your lid up here, bait, close it back up. That holds the cool inside there, and you can reuse this cooler over and over again. Plus, you don't have to worry about losing your lid running across the lake, which I don't know how many times that's happened to me. So a lot of times the punch bait, through getting hot on the boat and then cooling back off, will start to develop liquid in it, and it won't be thick enough. And the easiest thing to do to correct that is to add fiber to the bait. The easiest, cheapest thing you can find to add for fiber to catfish punch baits are cattails. This is just a plain old cattail that I cut. You can find these anywhere that's close to water. These are actually dried out. When you get them, they're going to be a dark brown, and they're going to be real hard and firm. And you can take them, cut them, let them sit out in the sun for 2 or 3 days, and when they've sat out in the sun for 2 or 3 days, they'll start to dry. And you can see here now that this is really kind of soft. When you first get them, when you push on them, your finger won't even make an indentation in them. But you can see here now where I'm pushing, and it's just kind of mushy. And these are completely dried out. These stalks were green when I cut them, and I cut them about 2 days ago, so they're perfectly fine now. And all you have to do is just take your fingers and just pull on them like this, and just kind of start picking that fiber out of there. And you can see what I have here now is just this big handful of fuzz. These cattails I've got here are really kind of small. I like to have the great big thick ones that are about 2-3 inches around, because boy, you get a lot of fuzz out of those, and it worked really well. But these small ones will work well also. So I'm just going to take some of this and pull it off of here and throw it into this punch bait. And you can take these and you can actually strip from the top to the bottom and get almost the whole cattail off. But there's some strings that run through here, and unless the cattails are really, really dry, then those strings will just come off. But once you kind of get it started, then you can just kind of take this like this and just kind of rough it up a little bit, and then just take your hand like that, and you can see all that fuzz coming off there. And I've already added a whole bunch to this bucket, so I don't want to add a whole lot more. But you take it and add it there, and then you just take this and stir it up real good. I like to use a screwdriver to bait my hooks with, and that fuzz is going to soak up all that liquid and everything in there, and boy, it's really going to thicken this stuff up. You can see here, I mean, it's nasty now, and that's really going to help with keeping that stuff on the hook. And I'm going to put it back here in the refrigerator now and get it cooled off, and it'll thicken back up and really be ready for some fishing. So that's how to thicken catfish punch bait with cattails. And for more information, just go to learntocatchcatfish.com.